Hello and welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. Today there is a message trying to come through for you, so we're going to find out what message is trying to reach you. And the reason I know that is because I kept getting impressions since yesterday about this reading and messages, and I wasn't planning on filming until tomorrow, but we are here. We are flexible. We have adjusted the filming schedule to get you your messages so that I can get my mental space back, because they just kind of continue to push through from the field, and the sooner I film this, the sooner everybody is happy. So obviously there's some sort of sense of urgency or time factor into whatever this message is also, because otherwise I'm usually able to follow my regular filming schedule. So if you're looking for a message, or if you just randomly found this, definitely there's a message here for you. It might just be a phrase, a concept, who knows, but let's find out. So pile one, you have the paradox card and the labradorite turtle. Pile two, you have the void card, this triangle image, and the black onyx, I think this is, and an opal with the moon charm. Pile three, I wanted to say numero trois, which I think I'm mixing two different languages. So if that means something to you, you have the creator card. And I believe this is a pineapple quartz. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but that's what someone told me when I got it. And it kind of reminds me of this magic wand here. And pile four, the surrender card with the seeing eye in the middle there. And this is a jade and rose quartz butterfly on a lily pad crystal. And this crystal wanted to make it into this reading because 3 or 4 times I was like, I don't like the aesthetics of that. I'm a Virgo, so I like the aesthetics to work. I like the physical to make sense. And I was looking for like a seeing eye crystal or something. And I kept hearing like, no, it has to be the butterfly charm for that pile. And I was like, okay, but my personality since I was a kid, I'm just very like rebellious. I was like, maybe not. Like I kind of like challenged, authority. And I was like, let me just put it away and try something else. And then I heard, okay, go ahead. And that person won't receive their message then, because this person will be drawn to the butterfly charm. And if the butterfly charm is not there, they will not get their message in your reading. You would get it somewhere else. But so I was like, okay, fair enough. I want them to get their message, so I put it back. And I will always go with the intuitive download, but I just sometimes like to triple check, just to make sure. So that is of some significance for somebody. So take your time, pause it if you need more time. You can watch more than one pile. You can watch no piles. You can do whatever your heart is calling you to do. And when you're ready, I'll see you in your group. Hi, pile one. You chose the paradox card. I love this card and this turtle crystal. And before I start your reading, I have already a message. So what do you think of this candle? This is not a sponsored thing. So I heard a message about this candle. So this is a little candle called Charmed Aroma that I got as a gift. And the idea is that there's a charm in the bottom of this candle. There's also, I think, a wick like that fell. But anyways, now the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm going to light it for your reading. Or not. Oh, yes, I do have a lighter. Because my daughter brought this up and she was like, oh, can you burn those candles? Because we got them about 2 years ago. And apparently they have little charms in the bottom. Like, I don't know what, like a necklace or like a bracelet or something. Or a little charm, maybe? I guess. Anyway, and I thought we'd have to burn this thing for like years to get the charm. Like, it's just requiring so much patience to the point that I forgot we even had, that those even had charms in the bottom. I immediately got a message because I saw this whole scenario and this whole conversation with you about how there might be something in your life that it's like a treasure or a winnings at the bottom of this situation that you may even, or a gift that you may even have forgotten is there because you've been working away at it for so long. So that's definitely a message for somebody in this group. So that's coming out first. So we have your penguin candle lit. Let me see if it's, oh, we'll put it in the shop for a little bit. If the cards push it out, it'll get pushed out, but it'll still be here lit. Okay. So pile 1, let's get the message that is trying to reach you. It could be about anything, could be guidance, insights. Okay, let me tune in to the energy of the cards. Okay, I keep seeing this Moonology deck. So, I hope you're doing well. Yes, you may not be feeling super great, I heard some of you. But let's get you some guidance here about this situation. Now, sorry, yeah, the reason nothing's coming out there because I had another message I was supposed to give you, I just remembered. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get the way the things make sense. Okay, let me get this out and then you'll see why I'm being a weirdo. Okay. I originally had a moonstone daisy charm for yours because it kind of looked like this. Then I actually had a Celtic cross. Then I heard the turtle. So I'm like, okay, whatever, the turtle, that's fine. So the turtle. But before that change happened, I completely forgot about it. At a separate moment in time, maybe it was yesterday, I don't remember when this came into my consciousness, but I heard this explanation for paradox. It must have been today because I only picked the cards early this morning. Anyways, time is an illusion and it's very hard for me to keep track when I'm like channeling, but it's irrelevant. At some point when I was preparing for this reading, I got this image of, I was thinking of paradox and I was like, it's such a weird word and like people don't understand it always. And it's seemingly like some sort of, contradictory or absurd, take on a situation or about something that's like kind of hard to believe, but at the same point also makes sense when you think about it more deeply. And I was like, I wonder how I could give them an example of it. And I got the example downloaded to me of the tortoise and the hare. And now I'm just realizing, then they advised me, like the field advised me to get this turtle or tortoise crystal for your pile, and then I almost forgot to tell you this message. That's why the shuffling was dead, and then I remembered it. Wow. Okay. So the story about the turtle and tortoise and the hare, you might be like, how is that a paradox? Because that's what I thought. So basically, we all know that story. But if you had said there's going to be a turtle or a tortoise and a hare or a rabbit having a race, who's going to win? Who's the fastest? Obviously, everyone would say, well, the rabbit's going to win, of course. Like the tortoises are super, super slow, like painfully slow. So of course the rabbit's going to win. And then if I would say to you, well, actually, what if I tell you that the turtle won that race? That would be, I think, considered a paradox because it's seemingly absurd, contradictory information. I've just told you who's the fastest. So if I've just told you who's the fastest, then ergo, in conclusion, that should mean that the fastest animal would win the race. But because of how that race goes down, as we all know, the turtle takes its time, it's slow and steady wins the race. The hare goes super fast, gets burnt out, has to rest, goes super fast, gets burnt out, has to rest, keeps seeing how far back the turtle is and saying, well, there's no way this turtle's going to catch me, so I'm going to actually have a nap. That's how much time I have. He's a little bit arrogant in his thinking. And then right towards the end of the finish line, the turtle actually catches up to the hare because he's been taking so many naps and wins the race. And now that's seemingly a paradoxical idea because, like I said, logically one would bet on a rabbit winning that race. I believe that is, well, it doesn't matter even if that is the actual definition. That's this message that came out for you. So it's just using it as an illustration. So if there's something going on in your world, because this is very powerful, intense messages coming through, because we've already received 2 pre-channeled messages about this charm at the bottom of this candle concept and the tortoise and the hare. If those 2 make sense kind of for something that you're going through, then you're definitely in the right place. And if not, you can still hang around if you felt drawn to this pile and see what more messages are going to come out. Sometimes just initial messages come out right at the beginning, and then the theme kind of takes a turn. We'll see. We can't know until we go. Okay, so what is this message that pile 1 needs to hear? Okay, so there's some energy coming through that's very steady and measured. This could be an ancestor or a spirit guide if you're familiar with this energy. And I got the message, okay, here we go. Let's get this straight. This is not going to be too much. This is going to be to the point. And it's very like ordered and organized, this information. That's just a message that's coming through to kind of set this up. I usually don't get that at the beginning of the reading, so it's almost like the reading's being conducted by a very particular energetic field or frequency. Like I said, this could be someone meaningful to you if you get signs, like if a turtle or a penguin is a sign of, say, a loved one who passed on, then it's most likely their energy presenting for that person. Okay, could we get to the card? Are we not using this deck now? Okay, I heard bottom of the deck. Okay, so bottom of the deck is hold your vision, fixed moon. Why are these not? I just sorted all these. Okay, let's see if there's anything else interesting with that hold your vision, fixed moon. And we got that message about the working our way steadily, to the bottom of this candle to get the charm, and then the tortoise holding their vision of winning this race. So there's got to be something going on in your world where you're potentially feeling like you're getting very weary or wavering, or you just don't know how much longer you can do this, or you're losing hope about something. So your message is coming through very clearly and powerfully to say, do not lose hope. You will get to the bottom of this. There is reward at the end of this. This will be successful. Hold your vision. And then what else came up is you're good enough with full moon in Virgo. So a full moon could be the culmination of when this thing happens. You could be a Virgo, have Virgo in your chart, or this could simply be Virgo energy reminding you, you are worthy, you are good enough, you've got this, there is nothing wrong with you, you are not doing anything wrong. This is your reward to have this thing. And I'm saying reward, but I mean this, the success of this, the achievement of this, the fulfillment of this, the manifestation of this thing that you're thinking about or asking about, okay? Let's see. Ooh, I'm getting 2 decks. Okay. Okay, so to the sea card 7 and no place like home card 50. Okay, so does this have to do with a home? There's this house here hanging with this warm, cozy light. No place like home card 50 to the sea. She's in a paper boat with an ancestor kind of looking out in from the clouds here. Which direction? Okay. So I'm getting from this, see how this figure's like in this paper boat, this ferry, and she's got binoculars and she's got the weather vane here. I'm kind of getting, I think she's supposed to be looking at a map, and see how her shoulders are kind of hunched. She looks unsure of her direction, his or her. I'm getting, with this to the sea card can mean many things. I'm getting, see even how the boat, I've never noticed this before. It's kind of in this tumultuous water, kind of spinning around, almost looks like a whirlpool creating like which direction. But see this figure in the sky here is smiling kind of benevolently with this feeling of, you got this. There's a deeper meaning to this. You actually do know where you're going. The current is actually taking you where you need to go. And you actually will find your destination, which I believe it coming out with this card of no place like home is having to do something with Sorry, penguin, you gotta move out of the shot here. Something with feeling like you've arrived. This could literally be a home where you're moving. Oh, I'm actually getting like my heart catching in my throat when I said that. So for quite a few of you, this is you're trying to move or find a place or purchase a home, or there's something that seems with a home like it's not going right, or you're currently lost at sea essentially. And that, even though it feels maybe like it's not, you can't get to the end of this, you can't get to the resolution on this, it's coming because you have this no place like home card coming up. This could also be a feeling of home. Maybe you're like, overseas on contract work and you just want to return to your family, or you need to get back to your family for some reason, or your friends, maybe someone's ill or something's going on, or you're just feeling homesick. And all of a sudden you're trying to get out of contracts and you're trying to get your visas and your passports and your work things in order, and it's feeling like this bottomless to-do list. This whole line here is reassuring you. Keep your eyes on the prize. You may feel a little lost at sea right now, but you are going to achieve this, and you are going to find that sense of home and security. This could be with a person. This could be wanting that feeling that you had with a loved one, or at a certain time in your life, where you felt very comfortable that you could be yourself. You felt cozy and happy and warm, and you want to return to that feeling, but for some reason it's something is keeping you from it, or you feel kept from it, or there's just circumstances of life, or that you're not feeling that way right now. Let's get some more information from this deck. Wanted to also come out. Okay, so we have the very strong, clear message of hold your vision. This will come to an end where there will be success or a reward at the end of it. With the paradox card, it's sounding like there's some sort of unconventional way that this is going to unfold with that tortoise and the hare, where it may look like you're the underdog. It may look to other people like there's no way. I just saw so strong an impression of, for example, two people making a bid on something, and one has like just a huge advantage. This could be like an offer on something. I saw it in the sense of two businesses bidding on something, and there's one, say your energy representing this independent contractor who doesn't have a lot of resources, doesn't have a lot of maybe success or history behind them, but has this vision, has this goal, has this passion. And then you're going up against, it's a giving me David and Goliath. Then you're going up against this Goliath, huge media conglomerate or giant corporation who's like, oh, we do this all the time. This is our second nature. We've got the money to back this up. We can make the offer that's needed. And everyone is like, there's no way this independent, brand new business is going to get this contract. But it's a paradox how it goes down. It's seemingly contradictory, where maybe just something about you, maybe you have the name of the person's, son or daughter or ancestor who passed, or maybe something that you said, a phrase really stuck with them. You just can't know what's going to turn things in your favor, where it seems like on paper there's no way that this would go this way. That's not the exact meaning of a paradox, but that's the way that it's coming through. Something that seems absurdly hard to believe, but when it happens, it's contradictory to what, would typically happen or seems should happen, but it actually has a deeper meaning to show, like the story of David and Goliath, like the story of the tortoise and the hare. Okay. If you don't know the story of David and Goliath, you can just Google that. It's basically this young kid going up against this giant with, and all he has is like a slingshot, and the giant's, huge and powerful and has weapons and I think like a sword or something. And David, takes him down in one shot with the slingshot between the eyes with a pebble. I love that story. That's the energy here. I'm getting like chills, like literal chills from my crown to my star chakra to my base. Okay, woman holding a coin with card 42. There's a black cat here also, if that's meaningful, and a lot of purple. Every time I pull a card, I get different things. I even see blueberries here. I keep hearing amethyst. So this could have to do with your crown chakra. This could have to do with purple being royalty, very like luxurious. maybe this is someone, I just got like someone coming in with a financial, like where you just didn't see it coming, with financial support. Because look at her. I almost see her like this would be like the person in the story who just comes, to the underdog and says, "Hey, I've been listening to your story. I've been watching this and I want to support you. Here, please take this donation." Like that's the energy that this card is giving. Card 42. And it's very black cat energy. It's like someone you maybe wouldn't expect it from, like maybe like that crotchety relative who you're just like, oh my gosh, this person like just is so, doesn't like me. And then all of a sudden they don't like anybody and they're just very isolated into themselves. And they're kind of like, in the movies and they come out from of the background and just kind of like save the day. And it's like, you didn't even factor that person in with that black cat energy. They're very elusive. They're kind of like around in the shadows in the background. And it's not in a malicious way or malevolent way. It's also actually in like a benevolent way. Like I said, like they're actually assessing, okay, this person, and almost like this person's worthy of this support, of this donation. Their cause is worthy of this. They deserve this. They have this passion. They have this vision. They have this integrity, and I want to support this cause. Now this could be on a personal level, this could be you represent a business or something like this. There's a lot of scenarios where this message is coming up. More purple. Okay, so remember I said this could be representing the crown chakra, this purple. Oh wow, okay, this is very meaningful, but I don't know why. And then you've got the crown chakra, but it's card 41 and 42. Isn't that interesting? Wow, that's very interesting that I said that, because I would usually not say crown chakra for a woman holding a coin, because I believe this is the Queen of Pentacles. But I just saw the purple so strong that I said this could be representing your crown chakra. And then the next card we got was the crown chakra, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel with the purple. But just by coincidence, or not, by design, it's card 41 and 42. Okay, I understand. Excuse me. Let's talk about the throat chakra. Is there something you need to ask for? Because my throat chakra is activating. So sometimes that indicates there's something you need to express or ask for or communicate or make known. Now, the message I'm getting specifically for this progression between 41 and 42 is, especially because they're both kind of very similar images, is that the precursor, or what will happen right before this support coming in, or this idea, is you will receive guidance about this. So your crown chakra is where you get downloads from the higher realms. So this could be in meditation, this could be in journaling. Often it's just while we're doing a simple task like washing the dishes or showering or driving, and you're very open, just you're not distracted by other things. You'll get a download about something. It could be very subtle. Like, didn't you have, a friend or an aunt or da-da-da? Or wasn't there a partnership? Didn't someone reach out to you? That old email 2 years ago saying if you ever require support, like there's something that you'll get an airdrop. I like to call them, of information, like a key. Like, this is the missing piece. This will help you with the next door to unlock. And the crown chakra card indicating you're going to get that intuitive guidance right before it leads you to this woman holding a coin, this supportive person, this financial support, this financial like, I just keep seeing like there's something that you feel like is whole. Like, say you need to leave, for example, say you need to leave where you're currently living because for some reason the situation is uncomfortable. This could be the scenario for somebody. And you're thinking, well, I could do that, but I don't have the funds because I need first and last month's rent. You need that here in Canada. I need moving expenses. I need to take time off work, or maybe you're off work or something like this. There's something where in your mind you think, in order to achieve this, I would need this. And so you feel like you can't kind of move forward. You feel like it's going to be really slow going because you've calculated how much you could save over the next, X number of months. And it's going to take you like a year to save in a traditional manner the money in order to make this move or take this trip or apply for this, whatever, go to this school, whatever the thing is. I'm just giving you an example. And then you get this idea, like I said, about something to follow. Call this person, reply to this email, apply for this grant, apply for this support, ask this friend, whatever it is, sell this item. Like it could be literally a charm or something that you have that you didn't realize had value. I just randomly picked up that candle and showed you, but you know what I mean? Like an old something that you're not using anymore. Maybe like I'm seeing an engagement ring for somebody that you're like, why am I holding on to this? And and this thing has value that you can trade in for currency for whatever this thing is that you need to do. And you're going to get this idea, and then all of a sudden you will have some funds available to you. That's the message that's coming out very strong. More messages for pile 1, please. Okay. The card keeps like popping out, and then for some reason I can't grab it. Oh, okay. Let's just get it. Discontentment and boredom. Okay, so that's the 4 of Cups. Yeah, so something feels like 4 cups feel, well, 3 cups in the traditional 4 of Cups. It's the image that 3 cups have spilled over, but there's this extra 4th cup that's full, but the person is kind of looking down and away from the cup that's full and not realizing there's still an opportunity because they've failed 3 times. And so they've become disappointed and discouraged. And if only they would look up and see there's a 4th cup being offered to them, that would be their saving grace. So there's something here coming up with this 4 of Cups message of don't overlook an opportunity because you're in the energy of discontentment, discouragement, which of course is natural to be in that, and it's okay to dip into that. But the reading is just encouraging you. Let's try to move out of that at some point, maintain a positive outlook, so that this opportunity, you will see it when it's presented to you. Because if you're looking down, you're not going to see that something is being offered to you, is the meaning of the 4 of Cups, I believe. There's multiple meanings to each card, so that's the one that I'm talking about. 12 Sacrifice. Okay, this card trips me up. So let me talk it out. Let me talk it out so that I get you the right meaning. And the reason why this card trips me up is because the word sacrifice bothers me personally, because I feel that it's an old paradigm that we should have to sacrifice something to gain, like that you're always going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Like that feeling of you're going to have to sacrifice for your dreams. Like, you're going to have to work 1,000,000 hours if you want to make this happen, or you're going to have to put your whole life savings in if you want to, buy this house. And like, I don't love that train of thought. I don't believe that that's true. I believe that for some of us that's true if that's what we believe, because it's an old paradigm that is very prevalent on this construct, this world. But I don't believe that's what the card is trying to say. I'm trying to work past I'm trying to work through the social programming meaning of this word that comes up in the collective when I get this card. Does that make sense? Including my own consciousness. So let's remove that layer. Okay. Now, we've moved through that layer to a new layer. So what is this card actually meaning? Because she has a rainbow and there's flowers in the sky, and she's kind of diving out of the water here. And there's even feathers falling out of this robe around her, like feathers, as if they're wings. So it's showing rising out of these dark waters into this more positive light. But why is the card what is 12 in the tarot? I'm going to look that up. Do you guys mind? Because I forget which is card 12. But I bet you it'll... Because the word is tripping me up. Card 12. 10 of Wheel of Fortune. Oh, interesting. It's the Hanged One. this is making a little more sense. So the hanged one, or the hanged man traditionally, but this pack is called the hanged one to be inclusive, is as it should, is that the person has intentionally hung themselves upside down in order to see a different perspective of the world. But the, I guess, sacrifice here is that they are temporarily bound or hung up. So they've deliberately slowed themselves down. Do you see where I'm going with this? And put themselves in a position where they can't really easily move or get out of it, but almost to say to themselves, okay, you've got to stop, like with this Four of Cups energy, you've got to stop and see the other cup. You're missing it. So I'm going to hang upside down from this tree or from this ledge or whatever, not literally, but figuratively, and see, am I missing something here? Is there another way that I could look at this? If I just kind of let's use the word release instead of sacrifice. Like I want to give up this old perspective. I want to give up or release this tendency to need to overthink, or this tendency to keep pushing, or this tendency to almost, not want to be discouraged, but, sometimes we're just like, see, I knew this wasn't going to work. Because it kind of gives us like a little bit of an out, because maybe we can sense that there's some discomfort coming down this path because it's a change and it's new. Like say, you want to move out of your place, but then you're like, okay, but then I've got to move and I've got to pack everything, and I'm going to be in, a state of flux for a couple months while I pack up and then unpack. And so part of your consciousness is like, let me just keep with this narrative that, well, it's not going to work out and I can't do it, because that kind of gives you permission to not move forward on it. Is this making sense? Okay. I'm going to put that hanged one away and keep just the sacrifice card here. So we could conclude from this card that you either feel like you've had to sacrifice a lot for whatever this thing is, this digging down to the bottom of this candle situation, or there's something that you're being encouraged will seem like a trade-off or a release. It could, like I said, just even be sacrificing or releasing your lack of belief in yourself, or your fear about the unknown, about what this change could bring. But I would like to clarify that card. So let's just clarify the sacrifice card 12. What specifically is the meaning of that card? Magic in reverse. Okay, so magic is like a sense of wonder, a sense of, okay, I see. So the meaning that I'm getting the most clear, although take the one that resonates for you, because there were a couple sub meanings there that were for other people, but the one that's coming through the strongest is that feeling that your perspective currently about this situation might be that it's going to require hard work or some sort of sacrifice or some sort of trade-off or some sort of downgrade, instead of, because your perspective, again, like we got the hanged one with the magic upside down, your perspective is that this couldn't just happen because it's your destiny, or this couldn't just happen because it's a miracle, or like you're not allowing room for some magic to come in, basically, with the card coming in reverse. You're maybe you could be earth energy or air energy. Maybe you're approaching it very logically, very overthinking, very, well, A plus B has to equal C, 1 plus 1 has to equal 2. And the universe is saying, like, allow it to be 1 plus 1 equals 10. Allow it to exponentially increase. Allow there to be other factors that you haven't factored in. Allow there to be more at work here behind the scenes than you could possibly even know or understand or plan out. And I think that this sacrifice card is just giving heaviness, it's giving weariness, it's giving, traditional paradigm thinking, almost like that tortoise and the hare. I'm getting that again. Like the hare could be the one saying, well, I've got to do this fast, and I've got to put the pedal to the metal, and I've got to, go at full tilt, and I've got to hustle, and I've got to hustle, and I've got to hustle to win this race. And it's almost like the magic of it is that the tortoise wins because no one could factor in that the hair would burn itself out. No one could factor in that the hare would decide to take a nap. Like there's other factors at play in this that are going to benefit you that may appear like magic, like other things kind of just green lights and doors opening and people kind of having, like I said, I just keep getting that example of you having the same name as someone and it being like a benefit because it reminds you, not that anyone would do anything, unethical. I'm just saying sometimes if there's two choices, the smallest thing can kind of intuitively nudge someone in that direction. I do want to get one more card for you here with final guidance or advice about this. Yeah, I want to get one of these angel cards. This is my first deck ever that I got when I was in my 20s. It's like 20 years old. Final messages for pile 1. That one really wanted to come out. Don't mess up our whole spread here. Oh, interesting. I saw this one in my mind's eye yesterday, and now it's coming out. Your children are watched over by angels from Archangel Michael. The prayer says, "Dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn." So this could have to do with parenting or a wish to be a parent. "Thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so I know the best ways to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children." Now, that seems a little offside, just unless that specifically has to do with your situation. You may be like, oh my gosh, like getting teary right now. I do want to get one more card for everybody else if that wasn't. Because like I said, I saw that in my mind's eye yesterday, but not much has come up here about children. I did see it, I just haven't said it as one of the possible scenarios. So if that's for you, I just want to see if there's anything else I need to say about this card. Yeah, you could be concerned about something to do with your children, like their well-being or a move that they are making or a decision they are making. Or this could have to do with wanting to be a parent and bringing through that manifestation into this world. Okay, but I do want to get a final message of advice for this group. Let's get this. Final advice for this group, because I think your message is very clear. To recap, there's something here that's going to seem paradoxical in the way that it plays out, where it may seem as though it's not going to go away or your way, or it may seem that it's not going to be possible, or it may seem that you don't have all the resources that you need. But with this analogy we got about this candle melting down, finally, after years of me lighting this candle, there is going to be a reward at the bottom of this, holding your vision, even though you may feel lost at sea, kind of without a direction right now, and you're not quite sure how this paper boat of yours is going to land or where you're headed. You are worthy of this. This may have to do a little bit with worthiness issues and not actually believing that you can have this thing. And there is going to be some sense of coming home, belonging, feeling like you're in the right place, feeling like you have that comfort and security and safety with this situation resolving as you proceed through this. There is going to be something coming in through your crown chakra, an idea, a vision, a download regarding financial support or resources for this, or physical security. It doesn't have to be actual money, but some sort of sense of security, like a lead about where to live, or a lead about a job coming in, or something that you would attribute to pentacles, or some sort of safety or security or abundance coming in. This could be a situation where you've been feeling discouraged because it hasn't been working out, and you're being encouraged to look at this fourth cup and what is in it that's being offered or is going to be offered to you. There is some sense that there's going to be a lot of sacrifice or things that you have to give up, or things that you've put in that maybe you don't feel like that investment is going to be returned, but you're being encouraged to try and flip your perspective like the Hanged One and see this from a different perspective. What is the silver lining and what do you stand to gain? And also allowing magic to come in so that this card could flip. And I actually am going to flip it here so that the energy on the table is upright for this and moving forward and not blocked. Allowing the magic and the miracles and the unseen forces to come in regarding this situation to help you achieve this task, because it feels like it is, with the tortoise and the hare analogy and this treasure at the end of this candle and this hold your vision, messages coming through saying, don't give up hope. There is a fourth cup coming in. There is resources coming in. The solution is on the way. Hold your vision. It will shortly make sense. Some message here about children and protection and safety, born and unborn, coming in. If that is a message for you, that they're being watched over by the angels, so not to feel fearful or discouraged regarding that, if that has to do with your situation. And I want to get you a final advice card about this. Propel 1, please. Yeah, I just heard think outside the box with the paradox. There just could be something that you haven't tried yet. That may be, like I said, you're going to get this crown chakra idea where it's reaching out to someone or it's exploring some other avenue that you've been kind of getting an intuitive nudge about, but maybe just seems so strange to you. Like, I'm kind of getting, what is this idea that's coming in? It's almost like, for example, this is the message I'm getting about children. Say it is that you're trying to have a child. Sometimes the doctors will say, or just well-meaning people will literally say to you, and I've heard this story a lot, just stop thinking about it. Just stop trying. And then they'll say, as soon as I stopped trying, I got pregnant. And that's often because the body is under so much stress and kind of restrictive energy when we're really wanting something and we're really concerned and we're hyper vigilant and we're looking at all of our chemistry and body hormones and we're trying to track it, and it's not allowing the body to be in a state of flow and receiving. And oftentimes when the person will say, I gave up on it, I just accepted that it wasn't going to happen. And, you know, it's not so much that their belief or their desire changed. It's still there and it was still pulsing, in the ether, that beacon of light, that manifestation, but just that their own resistance got out of the way because they kind of let go. And in that letting go, they allowed the energy to flow, and then this miracle was born type thing. So, but that could be called a paradox, because you stop trying to try, or the less is more. So it's almost like stop trying in order to let this come forward is one of the messages. Like, stop trying so hard, or kind of let go of it a little to hold on to it. Like, you know how they say if you hold on to sand too tightly, it just all falls through your hand. But if you hold the sand loosely, so you're not holding on to it, you're just allowing it to be there, the sand will remain, because it's these tiny little granules that if you squeeze your hand, all of the little granules fall through. It's something like that is the energy surrounding the situation, and that's what the advice is coming through. To keep pursuing this, but allow it to flow a little bit more, allow some more magic to come in, allow more downloads and insights to come in, and to feel assured and reassured about this, that this is going to come to pass. It's just a matter of divine timing, which I know we hear all the time and it can be frustrating, but it should be encouraging to hear that this is going to be successful. I keep hearing come to pass, like this is going to come to pass. Okay. Whoa! I know there's two there. Okay. So the first message is, how can I, surrender. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. How can I let go a little bit? How can I surrender even more in this moment? It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. Yeah, that's what I just was trying to describe with the sand, or the stop trying and then it happens type thing. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. That's what I said with this magic card reverse. Let some magic in with the unseen forces. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. That is so magical and like on point. I'll hold it here if you want to screenshot it. Today's soul action. Know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone, and it's all in capitals. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God or universe, or substitute that for whatever you believe in, can produce miracles in your life. Yes, that's what I'm seeing here. Today's mantra, I surrender. Oh, I have to tell you something after this. Oh, okay. Sorry. I surrender. I accept all that I cannot change. I release the outcome and I joyfully trust the process. And the reason I was getting all giddy there is because there is a surrender card. I was going to say this surrender word is coming through so strong, but I couldn't remember what cards I'd picked because I usually select intuitively from like 8. And I was like, wait, I know I saw the surrender card. Did I choose the surrender card? Yeah, so that's pile 4. So if you felt also drawn to pile 4, I haven't filmed it yet, but I wonder if there would be messages more because this coming through here with how can I surrender? Kind of like a continuation possibly of this theme. And the last card here, are these all in this shot? Yes. Oops. Is, why are these, these are just going all higgly-piggly every time I move. The last card here for if that card didn't resonate for you or just an addition, am I afraid to be seen? The world doesn't want to hold you back any longer. Take time to shine your unique light on the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Oh, it says live naked and free. Maybe not literally, but maybe if you're in a nudist colony. Today's soul action. What parts of me do I hide? Oh, so I can be socially accepted and fit in. Am I being authentic? Do I allow myself to be all of me? What do I need to feel so I can be safe to be seen? Journal your answers. So if this has to do with maybe a sense of holding yourself back a little bit, because I'm just going to take Penguin out of the shot to put this card in. Like I said, that kind of fear of the unknown, like maybe subconsciously, you know, okay, if I do get this, if this does go through, then it's going to mean this, that I'm like, say you're like auditioning for something, or you're like a writer or an author, and part of you feels like you want to get the role, and you want to be, you want your, play or your work to be published, but then part of you's like, then people are going to know I'm a writer, then I'm going to be out there. There's some part like that you're kind of hoping it doesn't work out. And it's like, that's for some of you. There's a small part with this worthiness card that you're almost like if you're very honest with yourself, and you may have written this in your journal, I'm seeing some of you, where you've said to yourself, or you've gotten the idea from the higher realms that you're almost energetically holding the full manifestation back, because then you would be seen in a way that you're not quite ready. You're not quite sure you're ready to hold the energy of. I get that. I'm like that with my channels. Sometimes I'm like, what if it just blew up overnight and I had like, millions of subs and millions of views, and I'm like, I get that tightness in the pit of my stomach, like I know I need to work up to that, because I don't love the concept of being seen. I'm just telling you I can relate to this. So that's another message coming through here. I do feel your reading coming to a close. A lot of beautiful, helpful information came out, in my opinion. I hope that you felt the same way for your message. If it did resonate, you know what to do. If you feel called to like or subscribe or comment, I love hearing from you guys. Also, just a side note about comments. I don't know why I felt to bring this up, but sometimes YouTube holds comments. Like I have it on basic review or whatever, but I guess the AI like holds comments if there's certain words, but sometimes it holds the most random comments that like have nothing in them that seems odd, and so I have to go in and like release it or whatever. So if you ever notice that like you can't see your comment, or I haven't replied or something, like, but I've replied to other people or something like that, sometimes I haven't seen it yet because sometimes I forget to go in there. And it's just been holding more recently, so I don't know why it's doing that. But just please, I don't want anyone to feel offended. I like to reply to all the comments. So if I haven't ever replied to your comment or something like this, trust me, I just haven't seen it yet, or I didn't see it, or it got lost in the sauce. Thank you so much for being here. I'm honored to have read for you. If you are going to the surrender pile or any other pile, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 2. You guys have the Void card with this very strong diamond shape and the black onyx, I think, an opal jewel, or jewel, why did I say that? Someone's named Jewel. Charm? Crystal jewel charm? So the first message I'm getting for is so random is Swimming Through the Void is another tarot channel. I have not watched his channel in a very long time, but that just keeps coming through. I keep saying Swimming Through the Void, Swimming Through the Void. So that could be a channel recommendation for somebody. I don't know if he's here. I can't remember his name, but shout out if you're here watching. And otherwise, I would look up that channel because it just keeps coming through. I believe that's the name of the channel, Swimming Through the Void. You could have something that could resonate there for you, or you could really resonate with him as a reader. Okay, so let's get started on your message for group 2, a message that is trying to reach you. And I just heard void state, void state, void state. Okay, messages for pile 2, please. Okay. Yeah, nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Okay. Like another word for the void. Nothing is yet set in stone. So you have a portal here of open, endless possibilities to create something. So let's find out why this message is trying to reach you. It's very mutable energy. So you can create, there's not a lot of momentum that has been going on in this situation. So it's very baby energy, which means it's very influential. It's not a word, I don't think. Okay, we just make up words here as we go. Yeah, that's dead energy. Okay, your energy is moving very fast, which is very unusual because you would think with void state energy it would be very slow. Whoa. To be fair, okay, this card came out in the last reading, not this reading, but the last reading I posted. You could be from that pile. To be fair, card 38. I always get Libra, strong Libra energy there. With the owl on her head there. So are you weighing a decision about something? An observer. I'm just taking these upright. I know some of them, I think they've all come out upside down, but I only read them upside down if I strongly feel it influences the energy of the card, and I don't. So that's why I'm switching them upright. So observer with card 49. I feel like you're waiting to see on something. There's a situation where I feel like you might have said, well, let's watch and see. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what they do. Let's wait and see how this unfolds. What does the to be fair have to do with anything? I just want to clarify it because it's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb, the energy of it. Because I don't get any sort of strict kind of weighing or judgments in this energy. I get a lot of fluid energy. It's a lot of water energy. And then there's this air energy coming in and being like, I want this to be equal. So I don't feel like that's your energy. Or is it? Let's find out. Whoa. Okay, these two exact cards came out together in that last reading. I don't know which one it was. So this is the same group. If you were in that pile, I don't remember which pile it was. I want to say pile 2 also. I believe the to be fair card came out, and then we also got the stop and rest in the same pile. Because I remember saying it's like red light, green light. So these two came out again, which is wild. So clarifying, to be fair, there's something that I would say you need to halt on, because you got the stop card, and then this rest. So it's almost like, let's take a break, let's take a breather, let's reassess this, let's just slow this down, because like I said, there is a fast moving energy here. Even though the cards are not fast, your energy is fast. So I don't know if you want an explanation or an answer or a conclusion on something. Okay, so we have the Deceit card coming up, which I don't love this card, but I do feel this energy is present. So you may, this is definitely not coming from you. This, I believe, is a situation that you're involved in that was directed at you. Some sort of manipulation, hiding the truth, omission, trying to make something look a certain way for some reason. This could be in personal relationship. This could be in business dealings. This could be about a living situation. But I do feel this energy present, because I feel that you're now saying, okay, I don't know what decision I'm going to make here. I'm going to watch and see and observe. I'm going to stop. I'm going to slow this train down. I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to see what's the best decision for me and what's the highest good for all involved. Because I do believe there was some sort of manipulation involved here with that Deceit card coming up. Okay. So we'll just leave this over here in the corner, because that's past energy. I don't feel like anything new is going to come up regarding that. I feel like that's the situation that's unfolded that you're now dealing with. So let's find out what your message is. I feel like you're kind of already handling it pretty well, because I don't really feel any sense of like super intense concern about it. I feel like you're like, okay, I processed this, kind of saw that coming. Now I'm like, now it's happened, it's played out, so now what? Like, now what, basically? So maybe you're just like, do you want to know like what's going to happen? Is that why you've come? Or you want some sort of like advice or guidance either way? It's strange. Like, I don't even feel any impulse to pull another card. It's almost like part one of your reading or of this phase has happened, and now you're kind of like at this threshold point of like, do I want to go forward? Do I want to know? Do I want to proceed with this? Do I want to mend it? Do I want to repair it? Do I want to just let it go? Like, I don't even feel a strong question from you about this. I feel like you're like, and there's an acceptance of it. Part of you, I feel like you want to know, for a group of you, like why this happened, like what was the lesson or what were you supposed to take from it. And then part of you, I feel like, part of you guys, I feel like want to know what is the best route to take with this. Okay, I just feel strongly to get this Angel Tarot for you. I didn't get that for anybody else. So let's just do that. For pile 2, what is their message? Because I feel like we have a pretty clear understanding of the situation they're currently in. But why were they brought to this reading? Okay. What else? I just heard, we'll read the card. Okay, King of Raphael, warm, generous, honorable, refined. Yes, it is safe to trust. The ability to accomplish many things at once and follow your creative passions. Those are like 3 very different phrases. So this is water energy coming after this. Is the King of Cups, I believe. So you could be a water sign. You could be asking about a water sign. So for those of you who the question is, can I trust this person? The answer clearly on the card is, yes, it is safe to trust. Then there's these kind of side messages here that don't seem related. the ability to accomplish many things at once, and following your creative passions. So is this about something that you were trying to achieve that kind of got waylaid, like a business thing or a career or just a living situation where you're like, I have this passion, I have this goal, I have this desire, but I'm not sure if this is the path to invest with this creative passion on? I need more information. Your reading was very like moon energy. Yeah. Okay, yeah. This nothing is yet set in stone. That's overlaying the entire reading. Usually the messages like pile one, it's like boop, 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 boop. Like we follow a very clear path, information comes out and I can put the story together very quickly. Yours is very like just foggy, shadowy, but it's not confused. That's what's interesting about it. It's not confused energy. It's very clear, precise energy. It's just that it's a void state. It's like, I think you honestly haven't, you don't have a strong desire about it either way. You're still very much considering how you would like this to play out. So I can't pick up a strong energetic thread about your questions or your desires or the guidance that you would need, because there is no energy leading me in that way. It's still very not set in stone. So I'm going to ask that any higher frequency energies, guides, ancestors, who have a message, just go ahead and present like a counsel to communicate to you, because I feel like you're very much in a receiving energy. I feel like you've maybe said to the universe, like I said with this observer, like you're very much observing. I feel like you're kind of giving me nothing to go on, not in a negative way. I just feel like you're like, I feel drawn to this. Let me see what she has to say. And I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to order something. Like, I feel like I'm a waitress coming to your table and I'm like, what would you like me to read for you? In this restaurant of messages. And, and you're like, I'm still looking at the menu, and I'm like standing there with my pen and paper, like, well, when let me know. So I'm going to ask that instead, because I can just feel the dynamic of this reading is different. I'm going to ask that the higher frequencies just present their advice or guidance, the strongest energies come through and just give you, like, almost like if you said, give me the chef's tasting menu, give me the chef's recommendations. I'm just going to ask that the leadership present to you their best recommendations. Does that make sense? That's what we're going to do here. I like that. I like that for you. Okay, so I just heard the name Mason, if that means something to you. Okay. So 9 of Michael came through. Oh, another owl. Okay, so we have 2 owls here. I think you heard me say owl spirit earlier. I don't know if I thought that. You also have fox, but now we have 2 owls. So there's an owl on top of this figure's head, and there's an owl coming in this window here. So you might want to look up owl spirit, or that could be meaningful to you. Owls, obviously, representing wisdom. So this card reads, your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome of your desire and release any feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Okay. I don't feel like you're actively worrying, but I do feel like you have a low level concern, and I do feel like you have a strong grasp of your emotions. I feel like you're very emotionally, at least to the external world, regulated. Like, I don't feel like you're the type of person who would be calling their friends and being like, oh my gosh, this happened, what do I do? I feel like you're very inwards, and you've seen what's happened, you've said very little about it, you've taken it inside, you're considering it, you've maybe journaled about it, maybe spoken to your guides about it, maybe watched a few readings about it, and you're just considering. But I do believe, if you were very honest and you might have journaled this, the card is indicating there is some level of worry, guilt, regret, or something about this. And you're being encouraged to trust either this person or the situation or the universe at large here. There's also two dolphins in the background here. But also to focus on the outcome you want, because nothing is yet set in stone. And this is a void state. So is it possible that the situation might look a certain way and you're wondering if that's going to be the outcome? But the encouragement here is that that's actually not the case. It's still in a void state. It's still being, the energy can still be molded and worked with based on your desires, based on your expectations and beliefs about it. So that's one message coming through. Very like manifestation, like magician energy. Like take the, oh, I wonder if you would have messages in the creator pile with the wand. Very like, what do you want to happen here? I'm just getting, I didn't pull the, you're getting all different everything. There's very different energy here. You guys could be my normal pile 4s, but you're in, but your energies, I feel like a lot of you picked pile 2. Because it's that like very loose, flowy energy where there's no strong, because there's a matureness to the way that you move in the world. Like I said, very like regulated and like spiritually mature. I don't feel like you get panicked about things very easily. But I feel like at the same time, you're like, I am eventually going to need to make a decision about this. And so you're kind of like coming to this reading. It probably came across your feed and you were like, let me just see what it says. So let's see if we can get you the guidance or the advice here. For pile 2, please. Who else? Anybody else want to say something here? Okay. The goal. Oh, this is interesting. This came up in pile 1, this children thing. So you could be from there. Okay. The golden children, inner child. Oh, okay. Tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. I feel like there's just this, not sadness, but there's a nostalgic sadness, or what is this word coming through now with you, where I feel like there's something that this situation, I want to say disturbed within you regarding your inner child. Like there's a tenderness that you almost don't want to admit, because I get you have this very hard exterior, and I don't mean hard like negative at all. I feel like it's just very reserved, almost like a emperor energy. But like, you know how the emperor can be shown with the arms crossed, because it's not because he's not open, or it's just he's very self-contained. You're very self-contained. Very self-contained. That word just perfectly describes you. And I feel like no one would know that this situation really kind of, I don't even want to say triggered, because it wasn't that activating. It just like lightly touched on your shoulder this part inside of you that you maybe haven't looked at in a long time. And I feel like that's why this situation happened with this deceit. Something that your soul wants to mend or repair or soothe further or alchemize, that you haven't looked at in a very long time. This could have been like a childhood bully, or someone called you names, or something with your parents or siblings or teachers. You know, you're not good enough, you can't do that. Like, for example, I'm seeing a young child having natural gifts. Yeah, it does say rare gifts. Natural gifts about something. And because of the culture and the society that we're in is just getting better, but especially when you would have been a child, very unevolved, you know, and like the consciousness is struggling. Anyways, we all know what's going on. So you would have come in this pure soul with these beautiful gifts. And I see someone say, I see you expressing them, and it could have been very like not in a big way, like you're just doodling or something, or you're just starting to explore this gift. And I see someone saying something negatively to you, like, what is that? Stop wasting your time on that. That's worthless, or that looks silly, or like, what is that supposed to be? And I see it kind of closed up that budding bud, like it just like flicked the head off that bud, if it was a flower budding. And then I don't think you've looked at it since, this gift. You may have to go way back for this, but I don't know why it's presenting itself in this reading, because this is like so off topic, basically, I think. But I think it's really about that. So it's like, say someone deceived you. It's bringing up this memory of when you were younger and, a friend deceived you and like lied about something, and you kind of just like brushed it under the rug then, but now you're like, oh, here it is again. That feeling of why would they not be honest with me, of why would they keep this from me. So I would explore that, because I feel like you've potentially, even this like, see this like portal here with this archway. I feel like you have a tenderness inside of you that maybe has been locked away for a while. I feel like you do live in a little bit of a self-protective state. And I wonder if that's serving you. Because there's the yes, it's safe to trust, and there's the follow your creative passions. And then there's the ability to accomplish many things at once. Do you think that you can't accomplish many things at once? There could be neurodivergence here. And you could have been told you can't focus. You need to focus on one thing at a time. You're, slow. You can't do this. You can't, where's your head at? It's like I'm getting like a lot of like channel things that are coming through that from past, like low frequency energies. And I feel like you kind of locked away your tenderness and your gifts in like this box and threw away the key. Sorry, I don't know why that got so quiet. There's just like a lot coming through. I do keep seeing a lot of gold. Okay, so that's one message, because you have this rare gifts and creative passions. So if that's been told to you, I would take a look at that belief, because it says the ability to accomplish many things at once, which is a strange phrase to have on a card, and I've kind of never noticed it before. But I feel like it's specifically for you to say, you actually can do this. So if it is something that a passion or a gift you want to explore, that you're like, well, I already have this other life. Like I'm grown, I have kids, I have a job. And you kind of have been thinking like at the back of your mind, could I start up this business or this side passion or just work on this hobby? And you're like, I don't think I could, because I can't focus and I need to just, do one thing at a time, and I need to have this shield up, and I don't want to expose myself because people will make fun of me again. There's something about the timing being right now to pursue this talent or gift again. That's like one message. I want to say it's a side message, like a side quest, but I kind of feel like it's underlying the whole thing here. So let's get more. Anything else from the higher realms for pile 2, please? I'm sorry if your message is kind of like strange. It's just coming out in a very like unique way. Yeah, I'm not surprised that card came out. I just have to honor the message. Like I was thinking it would more be like pile 1, like I said, like a direct A to B situation with a resolution. This is more like, I feel like an ancestor or something coming and being like, can we have a sit down, and I want to tell you these things. That's the energy here. And I guess it's just a message trying to reach you. So it doesn't have to be about a specific situation, but it could be, like I said, something's happened and you're observing it and you're kind of considering what to do. And I feel like it ties to this other information that's coming out. And you got starseed, what lights you up. So this is definitely about, okay, so you could just feel in, this could not be about a specific situation, but this could be about just you feeling in life like you're at a void state. Like if maybe nothing has meaning, you don't really feel called towards anything, you're kind of just floating through life. Maybe there's some things you have to do, maybe there's this very strict routine you have to do, and you're kind of like, I almost wonder if it would be fair if you pursued what lights up your soul, these gifts, these creative passions, because you now have 3 cards indicating unique soul passions or creative talents, like what lights you up, and go towards that. And any worry you kind of have about the outcome of this situation or about doing that is unnecessary. Focus on what you want to happen here. This is almost giving like rewrite, redesign your life energy. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of these. Like sitting down and being like, what do I want to create here in this incarnation? Is it what I'm currently doing? How would I like my day to go? What type of people would I like to be surrounded with? Is this reality that I've currently created to date something that I feel satisfied and fulfilled in? Or have I been creating by default? And now kind of observing and taking a look around your world and seeing where you can stop, where things are not aligned with you. Take a breath, reassess, and start to look at what is your desired outcome, because you have, for some reason at this point in your life, this opportunity to recreate, because you have this open portal here in the Golden Children card. You have the void state here. You have nothing is set in stone. And this kind of energy of what would light you up? What about those gifts that you had when you were very young? How would they be expressed now as the fullest expression of who you've evolved to date? What about your life feels aligned, feels good, lights you up? Even in just the most fool energy type of way to think about this and approach it. Because sometimes we put these limits on ourselves, right? Because we start to think and then we think, oh, but I have to go to work, so I have to pay the bills, and because I have to do that, and then I'm going to have to, so like, never mind. Because these things all have to stay, so that's my day. And so that's my life, because it's filled up. But what if you just kind of threw caution to the wind and said, just in my own mind, I'm going to transcend my current reality and imagine what would I like to create? Like, what do you think your soul planned, which is you, before you came here? What did it anticipate its daily life and adventures and interactions and experiences would be? And do you feel aligned with those type of things? Because only you can know what lights you up. And I feel like you're kind of being called to do an assessment of that and to recreate something new for yourself, whether it's routines or adventures or experiences or passions or purpose and all of the above, relationships, from this place of pure potential and not from kind of what's already been manifesting around you. Keep the things that you like, but just allow your mind to go there and see if there's anything that kind of comes up that you're like, yeah, like, why do I do that? Because I would really prefer to get up early and do this and spend my morning this way, or I would really prefer to work through the night and do this, and this lights me up. And why don't I just do that once a week and start to implement and add in and integrate some of these things that I feel would bring me more fulfillment in my day-to-day? Anything else for pile 2? I got like all different cards for you guys, I think, except like one deck. Just a very unique message here. Anything else for pile? Yeah, I keep being drawn to this stop rest. Like for some of you, you're just going at full tilt on something. Like life is just completely like a runaway train. And you've almost like left no room for envisioning and imagining and observing. It's just, you're just on autopilot. And the message is coming through to kind of take some time where you can and see if you're on the trajectory that you want to be on. Card 15 coming through here. You can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have? You can make it through. Okay. I would say that's for the people who have this, your worry is unnecessary. And with this deceit card, if this is a specific situation, like we started on that trajectory, there kind of seems to be two messages here. Like I said, side quest and main theme. Oh yeah, because you have what wisdom does your higher self have? And you have the owl coming through twice. I mean, have you talked to your higher self? You could journal, meditate, listen, ask questions, pay attention to your dreams, intuitive downloads and nudges that you're receiving. If you don't know what to do, I would automatic write. Get a piece of paper and just say, take some deep breaths, try to get into a clear state, and ask yourself, ask your own higher self, I don't see clearly here. What can you tell me about this situation from your perspective? What should I do? An automatic write. Just let it flow. Don't put any, no one's going to read it but you. You don't even need to read it again, but just let the information come through completely unbridled, unguarded, unrestricted. That message is coming through strong here. I was going to say from your higher self. To do that, to ask and get that specific information for yourself, specifically from your higher self. That's a very easy, simple way to do it. Often we think like, oh, I can't hear, I'm not sure, my intuition, I haven't heard anything. I would try that. For some reason, that method will work for you. And let's get a final message here. Anything else that needs to come out for pile 2, please? Just anything they need to know that would help them, clarify, guide them. Yeah, I tried to get that deck and then I kept hearing, not this deck, but I just stubbornly kept trying to do that. I'm going to get you an actual spirit guide message because I feel like your spirit guides and ancestors are very present. Oh, there we go. Okay, don't allow negative emotions to fester. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. This is what I'm getting from this. If you are feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that. Instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really be born. Yeah, I feel like there is, like I said, some deeper... And like we don't always have to get to the bottom of things and all that. Like sometimes it's not worth it to reactivate things. But in your particular message, there is some insight saying what happened here or is happening is about something else within you. So if you are feeling some feelings, resist the urge to be as reserved and self-contained within, within your own world at least. And acknowledge your own feelings to yourself. I would really encouraging journaling here because there's something that needs to get out of your internal space and awareness and out in front of you so you can honor it and see it and observe it and, like it says, work with it. Because something that this deceit activated, like I said, whether it was an old wound with the inner child thing or whatever it is, it's almost calling you to like work with it is such a great phrase that card says, because there's something from it that can be not only like repaired or healed or whatever or transmuted, but it's something that activated because it's trying to bring up this other thing, this rare gift, this creative passion, this creation from this void state. There's something here to be created from it that I think you basically took the hit of the thing, contained it, and said, okay, we'll see. I'm going to stop moving forward on this. I'm going to analyze this. What's the fair situation here? And you're kind of at a holding point about it. And the higher guidance is saying, go a step further. Dive deeper into yourself. What did this bring up within you? And what can you do with that information? What is it trying to tell you about yourself, about what your soul wants to discover from this situation and maybe reignite within you? That's what I'm feeling. There's some gift or passion or path or something that needs to be expressed, almost like a personality trait that isn't being activated, that this is going to put online. That's what I'm seeing. Like make live. Like, like there's a component of yourself that hasn't been seen or expressed in a while. And this situation is triggering that to activate you to rediscover that, whether it's your voice, whether it's a creative talent, whether it's your ability to, communicate something, whether it's your self-worth or boundaries. I don't know what it is because it's different for all of you. That's why I would do that higher self automatic writing exercise. Maybe it's your ability to trust. Maybe it's openness. I'm getting like a little bit of like yes man or yes day energy. Those movies where the person just says yes to everything because they've been very restricted and kind of not open and kind of like protected because of things that have happened in their past. And then this thing is kind of calling you to come out of that shell and experience a little bit more of the world, but it's more about experiencing more of yourself that has been unexperienced in a while, if that makes sense. I really hope you got your messages. I was honored to read for you. This was a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you do feel called to like, subscribe, comment, I love hearing from you guys. If not, no worries. If you are going to another group that you felt drawn to, then I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 3. You have the Creator card. I don't know why I love this card right now. And this potentially pineapple quartz crystal. Sorry, I was getting downloads while I was trying to say those words. I've been getting some messages before I start your pile because I took a break between piles 1 and 2 to have a little luncharoonie. And when I start to come back to the reading, I start to sometimes get these downloads. So for yours, I was getting this message of the phrase, why not just walk into this life now? Almost like, is there a way mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if not physically, but I think there's some physical components that you can start to literally, I just keep seeing this like step into this picture or image or life reality that you're trying to bring forward, but just step into it. Like almost like you're stepping into a picture, because for some of you, and you'll have to know if this message resonates for you, because this won't apply for all situations, but there are some situations present here. That's why I'm getting the message that you're so much closer to your desired reality than you think. And that part of it, or a large part of it, a large part of what's holding you from just experiencing this reality in its fullness is just you making this mental or emotional shift in your perspective, that because it's almost like it's okay, the information's coming so fast, I gotta get this. It's almost like you've been in a state where it hasn't been, and you've been trying to call it in for so long that you're almost like 99.9% there. But because you're used to being in that pattern and energy of, I can't wait for this to happen, or I need this to happen, or I want this to happen, that now that it's actually happening, it's happened, you almost can't see that. And that's what your message is about. And the example that I'm getting is like, have you ever been like, if you're a parent and you're driving your kid to school, or not even driving them, but getting them ready for school every day, whether you drive them or take them to the school bus or see them off at the door, whatever it is, there's this school morning routine that happens in Canada anyway, from September to the end of June. And then they go on summer vacation for July and August. And even though you know you're on summer vacation in July and August, the first few weeks I still wake up anyway and think, okay, let me get up, start this routine. And it takes my consciousness a moment to realize, oh, it's summer. There's no school, because it's a pattern that we've been doing for so long that now I expect it. And even though that's no longer the reality, my brain and my body wants to keep walking down that expected reality path. Okay, I think that makes sense. So I feel like that's the energy here, but let's start pulling your cards, because that's a lot of information before we even started pulling cards. So that's the theme in this pile of the message trying to reach you. So what else can I actually love this? I love this message. It is so like, sometimes there's just a concept that comes through that's so fresh and new. Like I've never really thought about it in that way. I'm going to watch this back later and see if I can apply this to some aspect of my life. Okay. For pile 3 with the Creator card, what message is trying to reach them? That one hopped into my hand. I was going to say, what? No. I'm not going to tell you what I was going to say. I don't want to. It's weird. Oh, okay. A little Taurus here. A little Taurus. Big Taurus showing up here. New moon in Taurus with the bull. Prosperity lies ahead. So something could be happening in the new moon. You could have Taurus in your cart. Wow. Do you have Taurus in your cart? If you do, I would check out. Check out and buy that Taurus. Okay. Let's try this again. Prosperity lies ahead. You could have Taurus in your chart. This could be about a Taurus, or this could just be Taurian energy demonstrating and representing something really becoming fruitful or successful, prosperous time ahead in your life. I've been fighting this with this little glittery silver glitter on the table the whole readings, and it's making me, I don't know why, like it's just not distracting me, but I just want to do something with it, and so I just removed it from the table. I don't know why that matters. Is there something distracting you? Something like glittery in your life, like a little glittery, shiny object or person or something that's kind of distracting you from stepping into this reality? What is that? I'm so curious about your guys' reading. It just feels like something we can like really sink our teeth into. Like if you really get this concept, even though we haven't barely started the reading, I just can feel that I'll say we, because I think this is like a concept for all, that if you could really grasp this concept, it would just be life changing. But how do we go about something like that? Regeneration card 46. It came in reverse, but I only take the reversals if I feel strongly that they would influence the meaning of the reading. And I don't, but I do want to acknowledge that you could be feeling like a little bit stagnant in your growth. Like exactly kind of what we talked about. That something is budding, but has yet to, like, see how this tree is budding out of the lava, out of the ash? So in reverse, you could be feeling like that has been stagnant, and that your growth and this manifestation budding through has been slow or stagnant. I'm just going to keep it in upright because I feel the energy saying this is, if you can step into this energy of the new reality more fully, that it is really like fully cooked. this concept, this manifestation, whatever this is on your mind. But it's about shifting out of that feeling of waking up every morning and having that like feeling of yearning of like, oh, I still want this thing. Is this thing happening to, okay, like I'll give you an example. There's something in my, this just came up. There's something in my reality that like it helps me because I'm highly intuitive. So I kind of already know the outcome, right? But because like physical time is catching up, I'm just playing that out, right? But because I'm waiting on an answer about something that I've put like a bid or an offer in on, basically that I'm waiting to hear the answer back tomorrow. But because, I don't know, not because of anything, just because I got the intuitive nudge to do it, I wrote a to-do list about all the things I have to do when I get that official legal like go ahead. Does that make sense? I just felt like that's the next natural step. I was like, okay, so this is what's going to happen Monday, then I'm going to hear back, and then I'm going to need to do these things. So I just wrote to do next once I hear this. And none of them are really anything I could do now, or I probably would. A few little things I started, but that's kind of the mentality of like you're almost ahead of the manifested reality. Like even though my actual outcome hasn't occurred yet, and I need that to happen tomorrow, or not I need, but that just the timeline is that that's happening tomorrow. I still am like ahead of it. So I'm already planning the next step because there's an assumption. It's like the law of assumption. I'm already assuming that that's going to happen, but it's not from this place of like fakeness. Does that make sense? Like it's not a manipulative technique. It's not like, it really is coming from a place of knowing and confidence. It's not coming from, like the energy that you're being encouraged is not like fake it till you make it. Like there's an element of that, but it's really a true like embodiment and just knowing that that's the next step. Like, is there anything that you do in your regular natural world that you're so confident in the process that you're kind of like one step ahead of it, like your routine? Does this make sense? Like when I make my coffee in the morning, for example, I boil the water, I make an Americano. So I boil the water and then I put it under the coffee maker thing because I know that when I press that button, the Nespresso, it's going to flash for a bit while it's warming up and then the espresso will come out. So I put the cup under there in anticipation because I know that that is how it's going to work. I just know that's how it's going to play out, even though it takes a couple minutes for the espresso to actually come out. I don't sit there and fret and think, what if there's an error code? What if it doesn't come this time? What if, I didn't put the pod in? What if it breaks in this moment? Do you know what I'm saying? It's that I'm trying to communicate to you that feeling of confidence, just of like, I've done this a million times. I know how to make my coffee. This is the next step. Put the hot water under and the espresso is going to add to it in a couple minutes and then I'll have my Americano. It's that sort of feeling of preparing because you just know that that's the next natural step, not because you're trying to fake it and hope, well, if I write a to-do list about the things that I would do next, then maybe that'll somehow, move the energy forward. Like you can, that can help. It just depends if you're really in an energy of belief about it or not. So I just want to make that distinction because it's more about a deep knowing. And less about a trick, a manifestation, trick type thing, even though those can be helpful. Or like, I don't want to say trick, process, like the processes can be helpful. That's just not the energy that I'm referring to here that's coming through. It's more about a deep knowing that this really is the next natural step. And it's really like a realization energy. I think you just haven't realized that. Like, it's just, I think this reading is meant to just kind of give you that nudge of like, oh yeah, wait, like, of course, this is playing out. Of course, this is going to happen. Of course, that's the next natural step. Of course, I can see all of the signs are here. I'm being led on this path. And of course, it would make sense for me to prepare for this in this way. And it's not like a giant leap type of energy like we got in the last reading with the quantum leap. It's not that. It really is the next natural step where you think, for example, maybe you've been like looking for love or a partner in your life and you keep thinking in your mind, what if I make an online dating profile? Like, that's probably a good idea. Or what if I, join this community or group? That's probably a good idea. Or what if I put myself out there on Facebook dating, for example? I think that's a thing. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not sure, but I've heard of it. Or, like there's some idea or concept that just closing that gap and like kind of stepping into that life. For some reason, you've been holding yourself back from that, even though you want this thing. You've been given the intuitive idea of how to achieve that whatever your path of least resistance is. Maybe it's someone's set you up and said, hey, this person I think would be a really good match for you, here's their number, and you just haven't called them yet. Like, there's something that's like such a small step to actually, like, you have the key in your hand, and if you just take that step, you basically step into that reality. And like, here you go, you meet the person maybe that evening, or you get online. I'm not trying to give like false hope and be like, oh, and then you'll meet them that day. But like, that could happen. That happens all the time. And all of a sudden you have this, budding relationship, by tomorrow morning that you didn't even know was an existing possible reality, now, because you hadn't even taken the 5 minutes to set up that online profile yet, or whatever it is, or make that text. Just apply that to whatever it is. That's the energy that I'm getting, is that like, it's so close, but you just need to step into it, and that you already have the ideas. But it's even closer than that. Like, that's for some of you, but for some of you, it's really like a mind shift. Like, here's another example. Maybe you have changed your career. Maybe you've always wanted to be your own boss and things like this, and you finally have taken the steps over the past years to like be your own boss, and you wake up and you can do your own schedule and you have that flexibility, but you just haven't like really accepted that you're now living the life that you've always wanted. And maybe you still like rush through everything, and you still like do your to-do list, and you still put a lot of pressure on yourself, and you're still almost like in that same energy and frequency of when you had a boss. You've just kind of like shifted out of that reality. You're now your own boss, but you're not actually enjoying the fruits of that shift. Like, you're not really like noticing and having that awareness, like, wow, I really could take my time and like meditate before I start working and have a coffee. I don't have to rush out the door. Like, I really am. I mean, you could do that even if you had a boss, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that energy of just slower pace, more flexibility, more creativity, thinking outside the box. Like, maybe you forget, like, oh yeah, I can think outside the box. Like, I am my own boss now. Like, I don't have to keep doing this in the same way. Let me try some of these ideas that I've had on my to-do list, for my business. It's something like this where, and then another example I'm getting is like relationships. You know how sometimes you just have like a rough spot in a relationship, and then you keep thinking like, I hope this will improve. I hope this will improve. I want to let go of this resentment. I want to have forgiveness. I want to have a fresh start with this person, but you just can't shift out of that energy. It's something about just waking up and being like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to start fresh. Like, what do I have to lose? I'm committed to this person. I want to be with them. Why am I holding on to all this heaviness? And you just like this just release of like, it is what it is. We've had the conversations. At some point, I have to start fresh with this and start to see them in a new light, and start to allow the relationship to change and evolve and improve, instead of just keep seeing it of how it's played out in the past. And you have this like mental, like transcendence, basically, where you are now seeing the relationship and your partner in this new light, and you're allowing the energy around it to be transformative and to present themselves in a fresh way, so that you're not coloring every single interaction with this past perspective of like, oh, of course they would do that, and you're kind of missing the things, that are coming, that are improved. Okay, I hope that's enough examples of what I'm trying to say. More for whoa. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. It's like Egypt coming through here in this image. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Interesting, really like kind of similar images here with this creator card. If you have a second to look at the camera, with the wand and the light at the end, and this image where this figure is putting her hands in this diamond pattern, and the light is going through almost like in a wand here. I feel like there's something about your manifestational, like magician creatorship abilities trying to bud through here with this regeneration, where it's like you almost haven't realized your power yet, but you're coming into that now. your power to access and harness the light frequencies for manifestational and transformational purposes in your own reality. Situate, like you can shine that light on situations, on your finances, on your health, on relationships, and watch it transform. Oh my goodness. Okay, 2 cards jumping out there. Oh yeah, look at this. You literally have the word creative accountability and manifestation. So you got your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Yeah, this has to do with you as a creator, like physically, but as a creator, like creator of your reality also, but also as like an artist, but the art of your life this is about. Like you may be an artist, but not realize kind of how that can also translate to your daily world and routine. And you've got the love, Hadrian energy, codependency, boundaries. And the boundaries are kind of all blurring here. So this also has to do with sovereignty, your own sovereignty. Because there could be some situations or people, relationships in your world that your perspective currently is like, I can't change my reality or my perception of this until they change, which of course is the lesson, because of course that is false. I know that's like, I struggle with that. I get very much in like, well, if you would behave better, I would have a better reaction. And then I'm like, oh wait, that's not how that works. My expectation is pulling this response out of you, and my perception can't even shift until I change my perception from the inward and my expectation. I'm always going to see the same from you, and I'm always going to get the same from you because our influence is so strong and prevalent. Like they say, I've heard that phrase, like, everyone contains the world within them. Everyone contains both responses within them, but it's your energy and expectation and belief that draws it out of them. If you want to know more about that, I would Google Abraham Hicks and like say relationships or something like this, because they explain it like so well. Like it would take me a while to get through all that here. Okay, more information for pile. Did I already get this? No. 3. Yeah, the regeneration just like light flashed at me. There's something here that's trying to rebuild. I'm getting a relationship, but it could be like something else, like a, work opportunity or a living situation, some situation in your life. But I'm getting strong that it has to do with a relationship to something or someone. And it's trying to, like, see how this just keeps, the greenery is trying to bud through the lava here. There was some sort of destruction, like a situation or something where there is a rebuilding here and a regeneration. Something could be someone betrayed your trust, could be someone, let you down, perpetually. It could be someone didn't come through on their word, a situation didn't, go as you had anticipated or as had been agreed. But you've decided that you want to, in some way, still interact with this because it's still present here. Or this could just be your own world with or without this person in it. But there's some like newness that's trying to anchor in to your reality, that your message is encouraging you to remind you that you're the one that needs to make that shift to fully bring it through in your expectations, in your beliefs about the situation, in your actions and interactions and behavior towards the situation and with the person. Because there's some blurred lines here. I'm hearing that blurred lines, like the phrase blurred lines, which means that their energy could be mixing too much with your energy, and you need to have stronger energetic boundaries where you're like, this is where I end and you begin, and your behavior doesn't affect me and my mood and my state of being unless I let it. And if it's something that I no longer want in my life, then that's up to me to make that change. Very, very, what is the word? Like compelling energy. It's very unique and like I'm fascinated by it. It's fascinating. That's what it is. This energy is fascinating me. Your situation and kind of like where you are positioned in your world. Yeah, yeehaw, I wanted to say. This is my favorite card. Door to personal happiness and healing. Card 34. This is exactly what I see. This is exactly what I saw before I started your reading when I said it's like you need to step into it. I literally was just seeing like an archway with doors. You need to step into this reality. Like it's so close. You basically just need to, it's not even so close, it's here. It's like you just need to mentally get that or like acknowledge that or see that. It's a recognition of like, wait, what's stopping, like literally what's stopping me from feeling the way that I want to feel? Because sometimes when people say that, it's like, okay, blah, 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 feel the end result, but like really I'm living in a dump. My relationship's terrible. I hate my job. My car's breaking down. You know what I mean? Like usually it's so far from how you want it to be that that's like really hard to grasp, but some magician energy people can still do that. That's like a quantum shift. I really don't feel like this is a quantum shift. That's not the type of, see it from the end to manifest a type of energy. This is really like, really, if you were just like, I would say an outside person observing your life would be like, wait, aren't you already doing that? Don't you already have a happy relationship? Don't you already have a healthy body? Don't you already have a job that you enjoy? I think it's just you, because of years of living in the not, that it's almost like you don't give yourself credit that you have now created this and all of this is really on your doorstep, but you just haven't stepped through that door mentally. It's like you haven't recognized it. Like, wait, my life is pretty much exactly how I wanted it. Maybe some fine tuning. Maybe there's a few little tiny things that are kind of like lagging behind that I could bring forward with a few, little tweaks. Like, for example, maybe you're like, oh, I wish I had my health under better control. Like, I'm pretty healthy, but I wish, I remembered to take my vitamins and I wish I, was more active and I wish I ate a little bit more well balanced. Say that's all that's keeping you from feeling like you're where you want to be with your health. And then you realize, well, wait, I'm in control of all those things. I could write a sticky note on the fridge to remind myself to take my vitamins and supplements or whatever you have. I could, or set an alarm on my clock. Because how in like Apple anyway, you can set your alarm and then you can write what the alarm is. So you can like write, take your vitamins or clean the kitchen or whatever. I have one that says get your AZZ get your AZZ up and clean the house at 6:00 p.m. because like and do my tidy up routine because sometimes I forget and then it's like 9 at night and I'm like, oh, I gotta load the dishwasher and vacuum. And so at 6:00 I like to do that so that at 7:00 my evening can be like relaxing. So you can set an alarm for yourself to do this thing and like maybe you realize, wait, that's all that's stopping me is I have to get a new pair of shoes because I've been wanting to go walking, but my old shoes are, have a hole in it and that's why I stopped. Like sometimes it's like the smallest little obstacle that we've created and haven't like addressed yet. And like, okay, well that would take care of more movement because I definitely could walk, or I've been wanting to get a walking pad or a treadmill and I could just quickly order that or get one from, out of the storage or wherever you have this, or just go outside if your climate allows. Today we're at like some centimeters or inches of snow. So you could, if you had snowshoes or like really deep boots, but depending on where you are, like what I'm saying is sometimes it's already there for the taking, but we just have to reach out and take it and make those few changes. That's really what I'm seeing for your pile, that your reality is like so lined up for exactly how you wanted to experience it. Not that it's not going to continue to evolve and grow and expand. It always will. But kind of like this page that you're on, this chapter that you're on, it's like ripe for the plucking, basically. And you just need this little encouragement that like you're really so much closer than you think. You're pretty much at your destination. You just need to basically, it's like you're going on a super long, this is what they're showing me. This is what I'm seeing from the higher realms. They're showing me someone going on a super long destination. I'm seeing Italy for some reason. And you're like, it was like an 8-hour trip and you can't wait to get there because you have the most beautiful hotel in the most beautiful city and you've got room service waiting for you and you've got friends and family that you've gone to visit and you've been so excited and the sun is shining, but you're weary. So you fell asleep from all your travels because you've been planning this and you've been traveling there and you finally get there and you're in this car and the driver pulls up and says, we're at your destination, you're ready to experience it, but you've fallen asleep. So you just haven't woken up yet. So you're just sitting in the car and it's just, the driver's just outside, chatting and taking a walk and just waiting for you to wake up from your slumber. But you're already there. All that needs to happen is for you to realize you're there. And then you're going to wake up in the car and be like, oh, I'm here. Like, it's happening. It's all happening. And you get out of the car and the sun is shining and you go experience your beautiful room and you're excited and your friends and family come in and embrace and your adventure begins. That's what I'm getting is your message here that's coming through, which I love this message for you. Like, I am not mad at this message for you. That is a great message. Like, I'm excited. I could feel like my heart chakra, like my chest is like blooming with positive energy. So like happy for you. Okay, this card really wants to come out, but I wanted to shuffle a little bit. Okay, guess we're not. Okay, this one came out first. Wow. Oh my gosh. Like, guys, so many things. Number one, I have almost never get this card. I don't think I've ever got this card. I know I say that, but it's true. Number two, I literally just said this. This is the Four of Wands. Four of Gabriel. Time for a celebration. Abundant rewards for your hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. Didn't I just say Italy? This is what I just saw. It's countryside. I'm sure like it probably doesn't have anything to do with Italy. It's just that image of like abundant, lush lands. Just the way that I never get this card in this deck. And it just came out for you after I described this exact situation. This is two people embracing here. They're having fun. They're dancing in this gazebo. There's this hotel that I mentioned. Or whatever in the distance, this countryside manor. This is exactly what I'm feeling. Time for celebration. Abundant rewards for your hard work. Like you have finally made it. You finally got there. Release yourself from this burdensome situation. There's something like you've traveled. You've done it. You did the work. It's happening. You're released from it. It's now happening. The celebration is here. Oh, this is joyous, my friends. This is joyous energy for me. And then you got two Gabriels. You also got the Eight of Gabriel. Yes. Eight of Gabriel, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results. Guys, sudden and immediate results. That would be the name of your reading if this was a personal reading. Sudden and immediate results. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, step through the door into this reality. It's going to be sudden. It's going to be immediate. You're not so far from this, like, other times in your life where you've been trying to manifest something and it seems like decades away from this reality, This is like you've done the work. You're here. You've arrived at your destination. An important communication. So there could be a message coming through about something you're waiting for, about information or, a deal or something that you've been waiting to hear on. You also have all of these different colored, these kind of birds. There's like a seagull, an eagle, a falcon, a cardinal, a blue jay, like a dove. So if birds are meaningful to you, it's just interesting that they're here in this card as the illustrations for this Eight of Wands. So I feel like this is really just going to start to pick up, like with this prosperity lies ahead. Like you're going to step through this door and your life is just going to unfold into this. Like as this regeneration starts, like look at all the little buds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's actually 8 buds on this card 46. And there's this 8 of Gabriel. It's like these, maybe not specifically, but like these multiple 8 areas of your life are going to start to, money's coming in, your work takes off, your relationships are budding, your social circle, you're celebrating, you're moving into somewhere, you're exploring somewhere, you're traveling, your abundance is coming in, you've more options for things, people, you're more in demand. Like I just see kind of like this train speeding up in a way that you like, like it's an exciting busyness. Not a dreading busyness. Let's see if there's any final advice for you here, because this is a beautiful, very clear reading. I really liked this message of encouragement, little insight, little foresight. does this say? Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Well, I didn't see that coming. What does it say? The feeling of shame is the lowest frequency energy there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience? Okay, that is ready to be healed. Okay. And then it says, today's soul action, heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season, yeah, with this regeneration card. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. Fill in the blank, my soul's truth is. So, we didn't have anything else come up here about shame. You might be from pile 2 because that message came up a little bit about releasing guilt and shame in one of the angel cards. But I do see that the energy, remember how I said for some reason it's like this isn't like the past where things have felt so far away. I do get that there's something you've been carrying. It's almost like why you can't see that you're there, that you're at the achievement. Like, why wouldn't you walk through the door, right? Would be the question. Why wouldn't you walk through the door to personal happiness and healing if it's there open? Like, even with the prosperity lies ahead, I think that there could have been something in your past, like maybe you've had to file for bankruptcy, or maybe you lost your job, or maybe you lost your your marriage broke down, or something happened, with your kids or something like this. I feel like there's some, or maybe you struggled with addiction. Like, I feel like there's something in your past that you had to climb up and out of, like a hole you had to climb up and out of. But that because you felt so like disappointed in yourself or like embarrassed for what happened, or like, it's shame. It's that feeling of I did something wrong. I shouldn't have done that. People saw me do that or go through that. And that's a heavy, low frequency energy. I think that this message, this card is calling you to release that version of yourself and treat yourself with kindness and gentleness. We are all learning. We don't know what our soul came here to experience. Most likely you signed up, for that path, for that learning. You got through it. You moved through it. You learned from it. You're stronger from it. You've created from that place of contrast. It was all part of your path, and there's no shame to be had. There's no shame in living your life, your soul's journey and your soul's purpose, and exploring and finding yourself and finding your sea legs and finding your stability and moving through difficult energies. There's no shame in that. It's just part of the human experience. And I'm sure it's made you stronger for it. But I think maybe you're just being hard on yourself by feeling like a little bit like you can't let go of that past version of you, or that past expectation of your past behavior, where you're like, I'm going to probably screw this up again, or I probably won't be able to hang on to this. And that could be what's preventing you from walking through that door. Some of you may not feel that. Some of you may be like, no, I don't really resonate with that. And that's fine. I'm getting like a 50-40% energy, where that's the energy that you've come from. And now you're moving into this light. You're moving out of the shadows into the light, but you're like afraid to step out of the shadow into the light because there is a shame frequency around you where you're just used to beating up on yourself in your mental dialogue for whatever the experiences that you've lived so far, even though a lot of them were probably what you were born into in circumstances like this. Some of them could have been karmic. Whatever it is, there's no guilt or shame that needs to be held on to from it. You're free to step into the light now and kind of shed that old version of yourself and honor it and hug it, energetically, and say, thank you for everything that I learned from this version of myself. And now I'm recreating myself anew. I'm regenerating. I'm healing from this. Maybe you made poor decisions in health and where you're like now having to battle your way back from something, health-wise, where you're just kind of beating yourself up for like, why would I eat that way? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I research that? Why didn't I, listen to this person or that person or whatever? There's so many areas of life that we can carry. Like, I would say hidden shame, because it's sneaky. Shame is sneaky. Like, you don't notice it's there sometimes, especially if a lot of time has passed. It's kind of like hard to identify that feeling of like, I'm not worthy of this, or I'm probably going to screw this up, or I'm probably not really gonna get that outcome because I really don't believe I deserve it. Like, we almost wouldn't voice that, but it's there, like, lingering. So if that's something that does resonate, that could be a good journaling cue. Heal the shame by giving it a name. Yeah, bring it to the light. And we have here the age of light. See, I really feel like that even if this isn't resonating yet, there's some component that I feel like is relevant about that. Maybe it's just the word shame might feel too harsh. I can sense that. Maybe it's, am I ready to let go of this buried whatever, embarrassment or buried guilt or resentment or whatever it is for you. Name the emotion and bring it into the light, because you have this age of light, which means you're going into an era of your life that you're going to be living more in your light frequencies and operating from that place. Okay, guys, I think your reading has come to an end. I felt like that energy just closed off right there in a nice scene. Thank you so much for being here. It was an honor to read for you. I really enjoyed this message. I'm going to watch this one back myself. If you did resonate or enjoyed your time here, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you if you've already done those things. If not, no worries. I appreciate you being here either way. If you did feel drawn to another group, then I'll see you there shortly. And if not, then I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 4. You have the surrender card and the butterfly crystal that really wanted to be in this reading. And 2 things happened right before I started filming. 2 physical things. One, my head got really cold. Like, it felt like there was an ice cube pressing on it. So I had to put my hat on, like a wool hat, and which I am going to take off in a second once I warm up. And just for crown chakra things. And my stomach started to knot, like with anxiety, almost like a digestive issue. Like, it could be like related to like a feeling of digestive upset, if that's you. But it feels like anxiety or like a churning, like a cramping, like not good. No, it doesn't feel good. So let's get started. Okay. What is the message that pile? So if any of those things are happening or make sense to you, I don't know why your head would be cold like that. Maybe you're in a cold climate. Or you're like watching this without a hat on and you're like outside in the cold. Okay, Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. But if either of those things relate, there could be a message here for you. Okay, so we got a full moon and a new moon. So you got a new moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. Now, that's so interesting. Like, why would that be a new moon? Shouldn't that be a full moon? Like, by representation of something's paying off, something coming to completion. But anyway. Just saying. So Capricorn energy could be here in your chart, or this could just be that feeling of you've been working hard at something. And conclusions are within reach with full moon eclipse. I'm just going to flip these. I don't know why I did it that way. So there was like a new moon energy and then a full moon energy. So something that you've been putting work into is going to be resolving or coming to fruition. But what's the surrender energy about? You could have messages in pile 1. I'm just getting, you might be from there. Hello, pile 1, if you just came from there. Card 33, door to romance. Okay, I wasn't getting any romance here yet, so that's presenting itself in your reading. Does this have to do with love? And 33 could be a number, an important angel number for you. Ooh, cornucopia. Oh, see? Look at, now you have an 11. I knew that 33 was meaningful. So you have a double number and then another double number. This could have to do with like twin energy mirroring. It could have to do with a relationship. 11 is usually the twin flame number. But now you have door to romance. Hard work is paying off. Cornucopia. Conclusions are within reach. So this could have to do with something with your love life. And also with like your pentacles, like your finances, or just general abundance, or some sort of like harvest coming in here. Do I want this first we want this. So what is the message trying to reach you? Usually what first comes out is kind of like a little snapshot of your situation, so you know if you're in the right place. To the sea coming out reversed. That came out in pile 1. See, I knew you were from pile 1. So if you haven't watched pile 1, I would go to pile 1 because that card came out in pile 1 after I said that. This one wants to come out. Truth be told, card 14. Okay, so the truth of the matter. There's some truth trying to be revealed here. Masks coming off. I always get with this because the owl's standing on a mask. And like the... Oh, and there's little hearts here too. Interesting. Look at this card. There's all these hearts coming from. And you have all these... Same thing. Is this actually 2 different decks? Well, I don't know why I'm yelling right now. It's just so interesting that it's 2 different decks and it's the same image of the hearts kind of all fluttering like leaves. These red hearts. So I always get from this truth be told because the owl is standing on a mask, the owl kind of representing wisdom or knowledge, and it's opening like, you know, it's hard and saying like, here's the truth of the situation. What? I want to be with you. I was hurt. I feel like there's some love here kind of being offered. What does to the sea have to do with anything? I knew what it meant in pile 1, but I'm not getting anything here. So I feel like something's kind of up in the air because you have this conclusions are within reach. So I feel like maybe something, you're not really sure how this is going to go. For some of you, I just saw like this is a marriage you're trying to make work and you've been putting in this hard work, or a relationship, and it's showing like this is going to resolve. Your hard work's paying off. The door to romance is opening. Your cornucopia, your abundance is going to come in. Something like that. So if you're not asking about romance or your love life, I don't know if this is the pile for you, because door to romance is very specific, and then this truth be told. But it could be like a side theme. Sometimes like there's 2 things going on in a reading. Let's see what else comes out here. Yeah, are you working hard to like control the outcome of this? Because I keep being drawn to the surrender. Like your hard work is paying off, but like let it go a little bit. You gotta let the chips fall into place, you know, a little bit. Like let things settle and line up and process. There's a little bit of surrendering to this, the timing or how it's going to play out, or exactly. This deck is cold. I'm going to go for this one. I was kind of between these 2. Sorry, the reason I keep pausing is because I keep hearing that song by Outkast. I think it's called Hey Ya. And I keep hearing like the hey ya, hey ya. And then I don't know the words, but I'm hearing like, no, you're not happy here, or something. Hey ya, hey ya. Oh, why, oh, why, oh, oh, why, oh, why, oh. I know I'm not happy here. I actually don't know if that's the words, but that's what I'm hearing. And I don't know the rest. Okay. More messages for pile 4, please. You don't need to actually listen to the song if you don't want. You can just read the lyrics. Okay, you got... Okay, see, now I've got to take this hat off. I just got so hot. Oh, wow. Like, was I yelling? Because I think my ears were covered and now my voice sounds really loud. Okay, so you got, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. You got deep cellular healing. Ooh, I love this card. Arcturus energy. The Arcturians. Physical and emotional healing. Oof, that's a big, lovely one. And you got big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary and inspired ideas. Now, if you are from pile 1, or if you're going to go there, this archway was also in there in a different deck, in a different card. It was in the Golden Children card, and it looked like this with the two pillars and the archway, if you recall. Big picture thinking. Oh, visionary. And they also had hold your vision. Yeah. Like usually I don't say you got to go to this pile, just go if it resonates, but like these are so tied together. I don't remember what pile 1 was about now that I filmed it. I just know that it's tied. I just know because the 2 of the sea was there. This is the same image. And what was the other thing? Oh, the visionary. You got the hold your vision card there. I would be very surprised if you didn't find an adjacent message in there. Big picture thinking. You're not for everybody. Deep cellular healing. To the sea. There's just like, the cards seem disjointed to me. Like I can't find the common thread. It's all lovely messages. Like it's door to romance, it's cornucopia, your hard work's paying off. Deep cellular healing. But it's like, what about it? Like I don't get what your specific message is. We're going to find out. I'm just telling you at this point, I would usually know that. Okay. So as soon as I thought that, I saw the surrender. And then I saw how you're feeling the same thing. At this point, you feel like you should know what's going on. At this point, you would kind of know the outcome in whatever your situation is. So I feel like you are feeling the same as me. Like I don't really know exactly the trajectory of this. I don't really know the outcome of this. That's why you're being encouraged to surrender. There's something about the way this is on the table that's not making sense. So now I have not done this hardly ever, but I'm going to do it for you guys because that's the message that I'm getting. I'm going to mix these all up. These are all your cards, but I want the story to come out in a fresh new way now. Does that make sense? Now that we have your cards, I want this to be unfold in a way that's more meaningful. That's the directions that I'm getting. So sorry if you don't like that. I'm sorry if I'm like breaking a tarot oracle rule, card reading rule, but I just do what I'm getting intuitively. Okay, so what's the story here? What's the message here for, like, I feel like these are puzzle pieces and they need to go back in a different way because the way that we're seeing them, it's not making sense, but they're all part of the puzzle. So that's interesting that you had that big picture thinking card. So you may need to do the same thing if you're feeling the same lack of clarity with your situation, is take all the pieces, remove them, and then lay them down in a different framework that makes more sense for what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so how does this want to come out now? Okay. So when I feel to stop, I'm just going to read them the way that they're lined up. Okay, I feel stop. Okay, so truth be told. Okay, so there's something here that you need to express. There's something within you that needs to be clarified or said out loud or identified. That's your truth, your soul's truth. For starting, big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Okay, so the way that this truth is going to be expressed is in maybe now I'm getting this like weirdness thing, why that came out, like that you're not for everyone. The way that you want to express this truth, or that you feel called to express this truth about yourself or about how you want to live your life or be you, is not for everybody. This is a visionary approach. This is big picture thinking. This is an inspired idea that you've received, that you have, whether it's a way of life like van living, or it's a nomadic way of life, or it's starting a certain business or enterprise, or it's a way of conducting yourself in a relationship that's visionary, that's new. Like for some reason, I'm just seeing like two people saying, okay, yes, we're divorced, but let's live in the same dwelling, to co-parent the children, still within that structure because we're amicable and there's no reason not to, and we can have separate wings. Something like this where everyone else will be like, what, that's like crazy, like don't do that. But you're like, no, I see how this could go down. I see this in a different perspective, even though not everyone's going to understand it. That's just like a random example that doesn't have to have anything to do with it, but something like that. Then we have, you're not for everyone. Okay. Yeah, this embrace your awareness, face your true north. So now you have face your true north with the words true in it. And then you have truth be told. So there's something that's true for you, whatever this is about. Relationship, work, business, passion, like I said, way of lifestyle, way of living, how you make your money, something about your health, the way you live keeps coming up. So that it's unconventional. You may be standing out on, the leading edge. Like Abraham Hicks has this phrase where they always say, there's never a crowd on the leading edge, because whenever there's new ideas or concepts or way of being, or whenever someone pulls out of the rat race or pulls out of a social construct or paradigm, you're usually one of not many, it's usually just the one who has the idea and is there on their soapbox saying, hey guys, what about living like this? What about this renewable energy source? What about this way of living? What about this way of building income? What about bartering? What about, going back to, like, there's something where you have an idea where you just know it's right for you. And you're lit up by it. It's your true north. It's your compass point. It's your purpose. But the only thing maybe holding you back or delaying this pursuit of this is that you realize it's a big idea. It's a visionary concept and it's your truth, but not everybody's going to get it. So that's okay. So just accepting this is not going to be for everyone. You're not going to be for everyone. Not everyone's going to come with you on this path. Not everyone's going to understand you. And not a single person needs to. This is your life. Okay. Then we have the to the sea. Okay. So in this card 7, I'm getting like a little bit of adventure energy here. It's like you've made yourself a boat. You've got your binoculars and your, compass and your map, and you're exploring. You're like, I want to journey. I want to go on this travel. This could be traveling, or this could be just this journey that you're on to explore and kind of, the reason why people go to the sea, typically, like in a boat, is because they're exploring, they're traveling somewhere. So this could just be a journey that you are on internally, or this could be physical travel across the sea. It could be across the sea of consciousness. It could be across the sea of the social geography, the social. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Okay, then you have the deep cellular healing. Okay, yeah. Physical and emotional healing. So, what I'm getting from this card, you could resonate with the Arcturians or Arcturian healing, but there's something within you. This could have to do with health, like I got with my head being cold and the stomach thing. Then we have this cornucopia, the card 11. Okay. Which is a beautiful card. This is abundance. This is everything you want coming in. This is having more than enough of something. I just don't see how it relates to the reading. Still, it's great. I'm happy. I'm so thrilled for you. Okay, I see. So what it's saying is, if you go down this pathway, if you had any concern about if this would be prosperous, or if this would be abundance, the card's coming in to say, listen, this is a path that brings you harvest. This is the path, because don't you also have the Capricorn card? Yeah, you do. Now it's time for that to come out. This is your hard work paying off. This is the paying off. This is the payoff. You've put in hard work to something, and this cornucopia is showing it's like you're a farmer and you've planted all these seeds and you're going to reap your harvest. your your trees will bear fruit. And that is how people will know, in fact. People might be like, pshaw, like this isn't going to happen, and you're over there thriving. And they're going to be like, okay, well, truth be told, you can't really deny that this is successful, whatever this is, this energy source. I keep getting energy source for some reason, renewable energy source. I don't know what that has to do with the reading. But like, or this way of living, or this, way of interacting, or this relationship style, or this health decision, it can't be denied because we can all see the fruits of this. You're thriving, you're healthy, you're successful, you're profitable, whatever it is for your situation. And then we have the conclusions are within reach card and this door to romance. The door to romance card, I mean, even if you're not a reader, you could tell it's so offside. Like, what do you have to do with anything? And let's clarify that one. And then the conclusions, because I'm getting a few messages for that. Conclusions are within reach. Yeah, that's kind of like the energy of the whole reading, is that there's something that when you make this choice to embrace your unique approach, perspective, path, it's going to result in abundance. It's going to result in physical and emotional healing for you. Your hard work will pay off. The resolutions and solutions will start to come in. Most definitely. But I want to clarify this door to romance card because I'm getting a couple messages. I'm not going to say what it is until I clarify. Okay, caution in reverse. And can I have one more to clarify door to romance? There's nothing to be... Oh, I thought that was ghost. I was like, if you give me that ghost card one more time. Hold on. It's not. Okay. They're landed like this. There's a pile. So oh my gosh, you have surrender. You have surrender twice. You got the surrender card in this deck. I just realized you have surrender. I thought this was the ghost card because the ghost card is also gray. So I didn't clue in that you have the surrender card. I want to clarify surrender because... Okay, but we were clarifying door to romance. Surrender to love. Are you happy to hear that? Okay, you got determination. Caution in reverse. These are not going to be in the frame, so we'll just have to layer them. Oh, and you have stop in reverse. Okay. Okay. So regarding whatever this door to romance is for you, if there's love on the table, if this is about a current partner, a partner you've been thinking about, if you should go forward in love, if you should search for love, if you should open yourself up to love, if you should whatever about love, you literally got don't be cautious and don't not do this. You got caution and stop in reverse, which means go. Okay, so your first message is go. Do this. Pursue this. The second message is the surrender and the determination. You're being encouraged regarding this love thing to have some sort of determination about it. Like this sun, positive expectation. It's going to work out. You're going to achieve this. It's going to produce the cornucopia. Even if it doesn't appear that way right now, like maybe you and your partner are like not seeing eye to eye. There's some level of surrender to this. Allow it to unfold and have this positive, determined mindset. Like, this is my person. I choose them. I'm committed. I'm going to line up my energy with this. Because if you think about it, like some people think, okay, it's fate, it's destiny, blah, 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 blah. And then some people, so if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And then some people have the train of thought that, you're choosing. So if you choose this person, line up your energy about it. Make it the right relationship for you. Make it the right person. Now, that works to a certain extent. Now, if the energy of the situation or the person is telling you it is disharmonious to level max, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you guys argue over where to put the toothpaste, or they've been slightly annoying and getting on your nerves. you fell out of, where's the love type of vibe. You fell out of that honeymoon phase. That's different. Where if you've had harmony and you just both kind of got lazy in your thinking and your perspective, and you kind of fell out of that frequency of love, and you started to see them through, nitpicking eyes and things like this, then it's a determination to see them in the light aspects, to see the things, to see them as a soul with, what gifts are they bringing instead of what challenges are they bringing. That's the relationship that I'm talking about. There's other relationships where the universe has shown you time and time again, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and there's a level of toxicity. You have to know the person's heart and the energy that they're coming with. If the person is bringing manipulation, deceit, toxicity, and just like chaos, that's typically the universe saying you have learned whatever you were meant to learn with this person on their path, and it's being removed from your experience. And if it's like no matter what you do, it keeps blowing up and breaking apart, from my experience, that's typically the sign that it's just no longer in alignment with you. There's no cohesion, there's no resonance, there's no harmony in your energetic frequencies, and it's gonna just keep blowing up. You're gonna keep having fight after fight. But if you're like, with a few shifts in my own perspective and their perspective and some open communication, we could get back to a good place quite easily, then I would consider that that's what this message is about determination and repair. But it could be that you don't even know this person yet. This could just be determination to find love or be in a harmonious relationship or be open to that. Sorry, I got really hot. I'm removing this blanket. But certainly you've got the green light. There's no reason to have caution. There's no reason to stop unless this is, like I said, a very toxic situation. That's not what we're talking about here. I don't want to encourage anyone to stay in a situation that's not healthy for you. That's not what we're talking about here at this reading. There's nothing here that shows that. So that's not what I'm referring to. Okay. Let's get final advice. So that's if love or relationship is on your mind. That seems to really be a side thing because it came out at the end when we did the resort. I wonder if it was like really on your mind, and then the energies are trying to show you like it's there, but it's not the main thing. The main thing is this thing that you're doing, this inspired visionary thing. And then that will be like a side quest. Like maybe you meet someone, or maybe a relationship is, finds its harmony when you start to focus on this thing. But I wanted to clarify the surrender, because you got it twice now. I'm going to get you the surrender deck. Specifically, surrender what? Surrender what specifically for pile 4? That's what is it that they need to surrender? Because you've now given them the message twice. But that's such a like vague word. Like surrender. I wonder, is it like surrender your position? Are you trying to hold fast to something that's causing disharmony? That maybe if you just were like, you know what, let me just let this go for now, it might unlock this key. It just depends if it's something that's really important to you or not. Because I wouldn't want you to surrender like a belief, or something about that you really feel strongly in. But sometimes we can just get like, stuck on something that we can just be like, you know what, let's just let this go. It doesn't matter. Would it matter in 5 years? I would say that. If it wouldn't matter in 5 years, it's usually not that big of a deal, or even a year. Okay, this makes sense. I can't get it. You got surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself, that originate from the past. Then you can own your own power and soar in life. So I think this has to do with surrendering old structures, paradigms, belief systems, like that, like this, with this, you're not for everybody. That maybe that you have to be for everybody, that everyone has to like you, that you have to be pleasing, and you have to be likable and you have to go with the crowd and everyone has to accept you. Why is every card going on the ground? Okay, what do we got here? Ooh, I like this because you just got this surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Okay, what am I looking for outside of myself that is already within me? Are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? So this could have to be what the love thing's about. When we search outside ourselves, we can become overwhelmed, frustrated, and never feel quite good enough. It's time to go inward to find everything you seek. All the answers you need lie within you. And then today's soul action is breathe in your favorite essential oil, inhale deeply into your belly, drop your shoulders, and spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Ask for what you need and be ready for answers. That's kind of making me see this door to romance, like another aspect here. Is there some part of like your love life that you feel like you're kind of looking for, like you feel not good enough, or like you kind of approach relationships thinking, well, if this person accepts me, then, I have that validation. Instead of just being your own unique, weird self, embrace your weirdness and allowing who is aligned with you to come along. Instead, I feel like you're kind of catering and becoming a chameleon to everyone who maybe comes across your path in this like bid to be accepted and liked and loved. But then you're kind of like abandoning your own true self for these other people. And I feel like a lot of healing, emotional and physical, is going to come from facing your true north, accepting who you are, saying, this is who I am. And if you don't resonate with me, then, no problem. All the best to you. See you later. And kind of surrendering to your own self, who you are. Like maybe there's something you do that's like unorthodox, or the way, like I said, that you approach relationships or love. Like even I would struggle with that, like as a card reader. Sometimes in love, I would think, okay, I wouldn't really want to talk about what I do. I would kind of like just vaguely be like, oh, content creation or whatever. Because when you tell a lot of people this, sometimes they're like, wait, what? That's weird. Like, what do you mean? It's something like that. Sorry, I'm very distracted because this is only going to make sense to like one person, but I just got a snapshot of another point in this reading. Like, I don't know which one it was, not your pile, but a different pile, but I don't remember which pile now. And I'm like, did that actually happen? Or like, it felt like it was a dream. But I feel like I randomly was like, I just heard the word Mason. And then it just popped in my head again. And then I was thinking, wait, did that actually happen? Like, did I say that out loud? And then I'm like, what does that mean? Because I don't know what that means. But then I just heard it again. So maybe that person who was supposed to hear that didn't find that other pile. And now that's what I'm assuming. And now it's being said again, in case that means something to you, Mason. If so, then there's a message here for you. Okay, I'm going to close this reading up. I don't feel like completely like satisfied with it. I feel like there was like some loose ends, but I also feel that it's not for me to understand, it's for you to understand. So just because it doesn't make sense to me, that's often the case in these readings. I trust that you found your messages if this was the pile for you. If so, please like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you need to do. If not, no worries. If you did feel drawn to another group, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye!